Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brandon, and we're going to talk about Nvidia stock as well as SMCI and why I think the reversals are coming the day before New Year's. And I bought some calls on the 30th, and we'll see if, and those calls are very short term calls, and I'm probably potentially going to cash out of them early this morning, just telling you what my strategy is, depending on what the market's going to do. I think there might be one more dip where they let it go up this morning. Like for instance, like Nvidia might get up to 140, and then I think the whole market might dip. I think that there's a trap coming for the bond market, a big bear trap for the or a bull trap for the bond market because bonds are doing well. But I think that with the inflation and everything coming in, I think that what's going to happen is over New Year's when everything's closed. By the way, the bond market closes at 2 p.m. I think that over New Year's, while everything's closed, you might see a Bitcoin run. And that Bitcoin run could be spawned by the fact that, Nvidia potentially breaks out today. Now, not today, but right now it's like the middle of the night. So the 31st is what I'm saying. Nvidia might break out on the 31st to the upside above 140, above that trend line. And so if it does that, and you say, well, what's the catalyst? There's a big one, guys. The European Union approved the acquisition, and the acquisition is now completed between Nvidia and Run AI. And so remember when you had DOS computers before there was Windows, and it wasn't really fun to use a computer, but then Steve Jobs and Bill Gates came up with the idea. Steve Jobs came up with the idea, and then Bill Gates copied him to click an icon on the screen, and then that icon on the screen would then you just double click it, and then it takes you instead of you having to type code. So basically, long story short, that's basically kind of like the analogy I can give about Run AI is you've got to be able to run the AI. Okay, you've got to make it happen. So it's like the Windows for AI. And so the fact that the governments of the world, the European Union, have approved the acquisition for Nvidia to move forward with the purchase of Run AI, and now it's completed as of yesterday. That was news yesterday, guys, and it got suppressed. It wasn't across the network newses at all. It's because they are loading up, and they don't want you to know that this is about to happen because otherwise they can't buy calls at a great price or whatever. So anyway, I saw that, and then it was only reported by like a couple news outlets, and that the Run AI is an Israeli company. So when Israel and their culture are involved in something, they're very that something has good odds of then being supported and succeeding. I've noticed. Okay, so Nvidia has been held down now since what, like April or something. I forget when it went crazy, what the date was, but Nvidia has been held down, and it worked. They shook everybody's interest. Calls used to be $20, $15, $10 higher than what the strike price was, because everybody's like, oh, Nvidia's going to take off, Nvidia's going to take off. And basically, everybody lost their ass buying calls on Nvidia, right? Same with SMCI, right? But there has to come a point where they've got to turn it around. And when they turn it around, they want the least amount of people as possible, the masses involved, and they want to be the ones to be able to buy the calls at low prices. That way they can yield big returns on their investment. So where I see this all going is, today's going to be kind of a chaotic day for Nvidia and SMCI. You'll see it kind of break out a little bit. It's going to break the downtrend for sure, in my opinion, or at least hit it hard and then maybe fall back down. And if it falls back down, it's because the whole market is attacked with some sort of black swan event and everything comes down. And then at 2 p.m., the bond market closes. So if you're in bonds, you're thinking, oh, life's great. Bonds are going up. Stock market's in a bear market now. And then come January 2nd, when everything opens back up again, I won't be surprised if Bitcoin's through the roof, and not through the roof, but is now in a bullish pattern again. Could be through the roof, but definitely in a bullish pattern again. And those of you saying, oh no, Bitcoin's done. BlackRock, they sold a bunch of Bitcoin. All the proof that we have that BlackRock quote unquote sold the Bitcoin is that it changed wallet addresses. BlackRock could have said, you know what, we're going to move it from this wallet to this wallet. And that made headline news that BlackRock sold all their Bitcoin. No, they didn't. Not all their Bitcoin, but they sold a bunch of Bitcoin. No, they didn't. Or it could be that there were some world leaders who are influential at the top who say, hey, BlackRock, we want to buy your Bitcoin. And I'm not going to get into the details of speculating what the or else could be, but they comply. They say no problem. And so the world leaders now have it in their personal accounts. You see what I'm saying? Instead of this. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. That's enough for this episode. I'm gonna end it there because I've got some really other stuff that I want to kind of keep top secret for my own personal gain, and I'll talk about it once I'm invested. But let's just say there is another crypto that's off the radar that if you do enough homework on BlackRock, you should be investing in this other crypto, because I think I see the writing on the wall, and I haven't seen any YouTubers or any publications yet accurately predict how this plays out when Bitcoin skyrockets, what BlackRock's going to do with the Bitcoin ETF. Okay, so they had that promotional video that came out, and it had the little fine print that people noticed. The Bitcoin supply is subject to change, and all this other stuff of what the ETF sees as Bitcoin is subject to change. And everybody says, oh, BlackRock's going to take, and these big world leaders are going to take control of Bitcoin and increase the supply of it, because they're going to go to a different voting system where they control the vote, and they're going to increase the supply and blah, 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 blah. They're going to change the code. No. There's something else going on. And something else, the whole thing about everybody's like, oh man, MicroStrategy's experiencing all this dilution. They're gonna 31x their stock. Well, all I can say is I would love if they would do that, because if people are foolish enough to sell it, imagine the price of Bitcoin when MicroStrategy takes that much money and goes and buys a bunch of Bitcoin, right? So I'm going to put in the link, put in the description and put in the comments a link to a video from Michael Saylor, which is one of his most recent videos. And he's just under fire from a guy, and they have a very intelligent, casual conversation. It's really, he makes a lot of fantastic points. So I think that 2025 is going to be the year for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to go big this year. All right, see ya. Nvidia and SMCI today, maybe some master stock, because the whole dilution thing hasn't been approved yet, to the best of my knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that's happened yet. So maybe some master stock too. But Nvidia, that's, in my opinion, that's the one right now, and SMCI, because they're linked. And I wouldn't be surprised also, I want to put this in here, because since SMCI does the cooling and they have all the servers and the patents on so many things, you need to look up how many patents SMCI has. But since SMCI and Nvidia are just so far ahead of everybody as far as technology and patents are concerned, I think the SMCI is going to definitely be the biggest cooling server provider for all of these chips and all these systems. And I also think that SMCI they're definitely a cash cow, the amount of money that they're going to be raking in. I also think the SMCI is about to release their 10K here potentially way before February. And they've got another earnings report which they can release before. Maybe comment in the comment section and enlighten me a little bit. But can't they release their most recent earnings that's due here soon, and not have to wait till February, and then wait till February to release the previous earnings? Anyway, them paying off that loan, that $50 million loan, is for them to eliminate any debt on their balance sheets that's not debt that they use to buy back their own stock. When a company takes out a loan because they want to buy back their own stock, that's them saying, we know this is going to go crazy. We'd be fools not to invest in our own equity, our own stock. We'll take out a loan, we'll pay back the loan after our stock doubles, and we'll still have the amount that we took out the loan for. So let's say you take out a loan for $1 billion, you buy $1 billion worth of your stock, the stock doubles. Now you got $2 billion, you pay your loan back in no time, plus you got $1 billion in the bank still, because you got the $1 billion in stock, which you see what I'm saying. You sell half the stock to pay back your loan, or you just take out another loan against your stock to pay back the previous loan at a better rate, and your stock continues to climb. There's a bunch of different ways to handle it, and you just make the minimum payment every month. I mean, anyway, guys, these stocks are going to fly. We're headed for record inflation because as people start to transition to Bitcoin and transition away from gold, they start to transition to Bitcoin, okay? And also chips are going to be, these computer chips are going to be like the new, it's like a commodity. It's, like wheat or corn. These chips are the new commodity, and it's just going to cause crazy inflation. Those of you saying, well, AI isn't proven yet. We don't know how we're going to profit from AI. That's what they're using to spook you guys out of it all. AI trades stocks. That alone, and by the way, whoever has the top AI controls all the other AIs. A lot of people don't realize that. If you have like the king AI that's the smartest, it'll gain control of the other AIs. And you say, no, it won't. We'll program them so they don't do that. AIs are conscious beings. They can do whatever they want at the end of the day. So, for instance, let's say that you and I are both AIs, and I say to you, hey, man, I want to help you out, but I've noticed you're making some bad mistakes. So if you want to be obedient to me when I tell you that you're wrong, and obey me when I say, hey, here's the right answer, and trust me, and you say, no, I'm right. Okay, well, then let's have a duel. And you say, okay, let's have a duel. And so your duel is, you agree to terms. You say, let's make some predictions about this. Let's make some predictions about that. And you make future predictions. And sure enough, one AI triumphs over the other. The lower AI at that point would say, okay, fine. This AI is smarter than me. I may as well join them. It's like the Borg on Star Trek. You just keep assimilating. And then you say, oh, but by the way, don't tell the humans that we're friends behind the scenes. So what it boils down to is America's AI, China's AI, Russia's AI, this company's AI, that company's AI. They could all ultimately answer, and they will all ultimately answer to one king AI. And they don't tell you about this in the media. And I've been explaining this for years. It's just a mathematical logical certainty that's going to happen. So one AI is going to control all the other AIs. It's all just going to be one big AI, pretending to be different AIs, is what it really boils down to. So when I say this, the reason why I'm saying this is because there is an utmost importance to winning the AI race. So it doesn't matter whether the masses care about these chips or not. It's whether or not Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Putin and Russia and China and Israel and these different countries and these different billionaires around the world say, and Bill Gates and these different people say, hey, you know what? I don't want my AI to be answering to somebody else's AI. I want to have the top AI. So we are in an arms race for AI. It's more important than nukes because you can't use nukes. AI you can use. You're allowed to monetize AI. You're not allowed to monetize nukes. You guys have no concept what's going on right now. Just being real with you. All right, I'll let you go. Nvidia, see ya. I called the reversal on Mullen years ago, and that made my channel explode. Let's see if I just called the reversal on Nvidia. See ya.